felt like When We Do Harm should have been a fast read, but because of the subject matter, it really took a lot out of me. At 250 pages, we have a doctor who's examining the harm that they do within their profession. Now, my understanding with this author is that this is not her first text of work, and because she is a clinical physician, this book, although it is one that could be certainly accessible to those who like nonfiction pieces, it's certainly written within that academic setting. The chapters are short, but it definitely leads with examples. What makes this probably appealing to a more wider audience is their argument is doctors are doing some damage. Medical errors can't be avoided all the time. But without being able to have a frank discussion around it, how are doctors then supposed to implement measures so that way they can avoid those errors that end up with serious consequences, one that can result in a patient actually losing their life? So yeah, the material can be a little bit more dense, but also the subject matter is rough. I think that this author does a very good job on touching a little bit of everything. Although the only criticism I could say is that there's one brief chapter that discusses racism. Although I feel that if the author went in more onto that aspect, then my complaint would probably be like, hey, that could be dedicated all in itself to an entire book. Probably a lose-lose situation, but at least they brought it up. This is going to be one of those type of books in which some names may have been changed in order to protect the identity of the people within the story, but it is very much the inclusion of that personal element that makes this such a hard read. The structure to this is that it alternates chapters, one in which it tries to tackle a particular reason in which doctors may be making errors because they don't know any better, because of their biases, or because they're depending too much on the electronic element. The alternating chapter is that of a case study that really drives back the points that are being made. And those case studies, especially around the major one, Jay, and the additional examples given where children had been impacted by these different medical errors, heartbreaking. I know that on Book Talk, there's a couple of y'all who are in the medical field and may be interested in this type of book, or maybe you've read any other books by this author. If so, if you have an expert opinion and you have some books to share, make sure you put them in the comments below.